Hi, in this video, we are going to look at what if analysis. What if is a dream question. For example, I might want to think, what if my salary is doubled? Or what if I get a hike of 20%? Maybe if I'm into a business of transportation, I might be worried. What if the diesel price goes up by 20% or 30% and so on? This creates different scenarios which any manager or even a person would like to be prepared or would like to know the answers. For these, what if analysis is provided in Excel. It comes under data tab. Under data tab, in forecast, you can see what if analysis. It has a scenario manager, goal seek, and data table. Scenario manager creates different scenarios, that means different set of values which may be varying and show you the output. Whereas goal seek will give you the right input for a desired value. Okay, that means if you are expecting some result, what should be the input for it? That is what is given in the goal seek. Data table is actually a ready reckoner which will provide you several different inputs at the several different results for multiple inputs. It could be either one input or it could be two inputs. Those of you who have seen my previous video on data table will have already known. Others, please go ahead and see. Let us now move on to see goal seek. Here, I have given two different calculations. One is for the payment, the formula payment, that is the equated monthly installment. Okay. If I take a loan of some amount, let's say 11 lakh dollars. So the rate of interest is say put at 10% and the number of periods in which I would like to pay is 60 or in 60 months. So in each month, how much should be my EMI? So here you could see the formula PMT, right? That PMT formula is going to give you the EMI for these three parameters. Now, I'm not going to explain the formula here. Please see my earlier videos on various formula and functions. But here, what I'm interested is what should be the loan amount. So I want to see a different loan amount input so that my monthly payment will come to only $15,000 because that is the only amount or maximum amount that I can afford. For this, we have goal seek. So please come into the EMI where the answer is given as a result of formula and then go on to data tab and come to under forecast, come to what if analysis and goal seek. It presents a small box which gives set cell D7. As I mentioned, we have already selected that, therefore it is showing D7 where the formula lies. Make sure that this is where the formula lies. Okay, and this is what you would want uh, some value. So, to what value should this cell be set? As the question says, I should be able to pay EMI of only 15,000 and not more. So, I'm going to put 15,000 over here and click OK. Oh, my bad. I have not filled up the last cell. Okay. by changing cell, okay, set cell d7, set cell d7 where the formula is given and the EMI presently is showing 25,000 to a value of 15,000, because I would like to pay only 15,000 by changing what? By changing the amount. Okay, that is what should be the input I would like to check. Okay, so by changing cell, I will click on this, which is the loan amount, and click OK. Yes, goal seeking with cell D7 found a solution. So I can click OK. Moment I have clicked OK, it shows that my EMI can become $15,000 if I take the loan of about 7 lakh dollars, right? So this would be my budget, and accordingly I should seek to get this much loan. Let us try and do similar thing for another question of future value. The formula here is for future value. That means I put recurring deposit, and let us say the rate of interest is 10%, which it is giving me, and I do it for 60 months. So this formula of future value is giving me 15 lakh 48,741 dollars after 60 months, right? So what should be the monthly deposit to get the future value of 20 lakhs? Because 15 lakhs is not enough for me. I have some future commitment after 60 months and I need 20 lakhs. So I want to know how much payment I should keep doing, saving every month. So come onto the formula, come onto the cell where formula is given and go to what if analysis and click goal seek, right? So it says set cell G7 where formula is already there. To what value we would like to get the future amount as 20 lakhs. So I make it 20 lakhs, right? And what value shall I change for it? I should change the EMI for it. So I will click on the cell which gives the payment and I am going to click OK. Yes, it has found a solution and click OK. Okay. So my bad. Actually, I have put future value as only 20,000. Doesn't matter. So for a future value of 20,000, how much deposit I should give? I should give a deposit of only 258 every month. In this way, we can do goal seek. Let us say I'm planning to launch a training institute for foreign languages. I would like to make some basic plan and check out how it will work for first 3 months. In short, how much would be my profit for the first quarter? So to make a rough calculations, I have put down certain figures over here, like it's 3 months, number of students is 100. This is what is the most important for me because they are the ones who are going to pay me the fees. Let's say fees is put at 6,000 rupees. I'm going to hire 4 tutors and I would be paying 7,000 rupees to each tutor. These are my basic expenses as well as income with respect to student and tutors. There would be other expenses and investments like advertisement, because I'm starting the institute. There would be salaries calculated per tutor per month multiplied by 3 months, and then the rent of 10,000 rupees into 3 months, and there would be other expenses which will keep changing. So these are called variable expenses. Okay, in the sense they are likely to change depending upon the number of students, number of engagements, and other factors. Okay, so I have marked them in green color. Similarly, number of students is the most important thing, but which will vary from month to month, right? So these have been colored in green. Once again, let me repeat, these are the variables, right? Now, all my expenses amount to 1,76,000 and my earning amounts to 6 lakhs as per the assumed number of students of 100. Okay, and therefore the total earning of 6 lakhs minus total investment and expenses of 1,76,000, I end up getting a quarterly profit of 4 lakhs 24,000 rupees, right? So now this is one scenario. What would be the other scenario? It all boils down to the number of students joining. It's my presumption. Maybe when I open an institute, I might get only 20 students in the first month. Maybe in the next month, they might increase to 50 or 60. Maybe in the third month, it might become 100 or 150. I don't know. So, in such different scenarios, my variable expenses are going to change, and of course, my income would change depending upon the number of students. So, how much would be my profit after first 3 months in different scenarios with different variable expenses and income? That is what would be presented to me by what is known as scenario manager, right? Remember, the most important result out of all this is quarterly profit. Okay, I'm interested in quarterly profit. But what is going to change? Mostly, what is going to change is the number of students, which will have a big impact on the profit and certain impact based on the other variables. Let us try to create such scenarios. Under data tab, you would see what if analysis and click on scenario manager. Okay. Now, in this particular sheet, I had earlier worked out three different scenarios: low response, that means few people joining, average response, and very good response. But I'm going to delete all this. So let me delete this, let me delete this, and let me delete this. So obviously, you have learned that under scenario managers, you can create scenarios, you can delete them, or you can edit them. Okay, so everything is cleared. Now we have a clean slate. Let us try to create a new scenario. So click add. So we wish to add the scenario. I would like to give it a name. Okay, so I'm going to call it worst case. Okay, this is the worst case scenario, means very few students joining. Okay, now we have to indicate to this place as to which are my varying cells. Okay, which are my varying cells? Okay, this is I'm going to click here, right? Because number of students are going to vary, and I'm going to put a comma. And what are the other things that are going to change? So I'm just going to select these cells. Okay, so I need not write one by one. Otherwise, you could write one by one and comma after each. So I have selected these varying cells. Okay, and this is the worst case scenario, right? So, but what is the worst case scenario? Just click OK, and it will present a nice dialog box where you have to enter these variable values for the scenario. This is the worst case scenario, so I will assume that I'm going to get only 15 students. Okay, I'm going to get only 15 students in the worst case. Okay, now my maintenance would also be a little bit lower, so I'm going to put maintenance as 3,000. Conveyance would not differ much, but nevertheless it will be slightly less, so I'll put 4,000. Stationery would also be little less with very few students, so I'm making it 1,000, and internet won't change much, but nevertheless I'll reduce it by 1,000. So these are my changes in the variable expenses. So I will just click OK, right? And my worst case scenario is already created. Okay. If I want to see in my main table what is the worst case scenario, I could simply double click this, and you'll find the things have changed. That means you'll find the number of students are only 15, right? And where is my profit? There is no profit. it is showing minus 79,000. That means I suffer a loss of 79,000 rupees after the first quarter. If I get only 15 students, so it's not a workable thing. Let us add one more scenario, okay? So I'm going to call it normal case, or you may call it average case, right? So normal case, remember the cells which are shown here is D4, that is the students, and D13 to D17. It hasn't changed, so it has by default kept it same. But all the same, please make sure they are correctly put. And all you need to do is click OK, and we need to enter values for the next scenario, which is a normal case or an average case. So let us presume that I am going to get 40 students, right? So my maintenance would be a little bit higher. Let me make it 5,000, and my conveyance would also increase a bit. Let me make it 6,000. Stationery, I will end up spending more. Let me make it 3,000, and internet would also be a little more. I'm making it 9,000, and I will simply click OK, right? Okay, it has taken a bit of a time, doesn't matter. So we have got worst case scenario and normal case scenario, right? Let us double click and see what is happening in the normal case. And here you can see the changes. Number of students are 40, and the other variables have also got changed a bit. Okay, and now instead of loss, I'm making 64,000 rupees profit in the normal case. Let us add one more scenario, being hopeful, and I'm going to call it best case. That means I get extremely good response to my advertisement and so on. So that would be a best case scenario for me. Okay, the number of sales are going to be same, right? So I'm just going to click OK, and let us presume that I get 120 students this time. Okay, that means I'm presuming it's a good response by students. So expenses are also going to change. I'm just putting some arbitrary figures based on rough estimation. So stationery also is being increased. Let me make it 9,000, and internet bill also I can increase and make it 11,000, right? So this is the best case scenario where 120 students are expected to join my institute. So I will click OK, and it is being worked out. Let's wait for a second. Right, so we have got best case scenario. Let us take a look at the best case scenario by double clicking on it. And here is good, right? Now I am earning 5,32,000 rupees. Why? Because I am getting 120 students in my institute. So my profit has shot up to a reasonably good value. Now, that means in these particular three scenarios, okay, in these particular three scenarios, worst case, normal case, and best case, I know how much I stand to gain. But what if I need to make a presentation to my boss, who is the owner, let us say, and I am the manager? Uh, so I would like to summarize and present all three scenarios rather than clicking them one by one. I would like to put them together. So Excel provides a beautiful way of summarizing things by providing a tab over here. Just click on summary, right? So it is asking me, do you want a scenario summary or do you want a scenario pivot table report? Let us keep it to scenario summary, but most important, don't miss out on this, result cells. Okay, result cells is shown as D20. D, let me just click here, right? And result cell is shown as D23. Okay, that is my quarterly profit, right? So this is the result cell. So it is going to keep on showing me different scenarios and show the result cell as my quarterly profit. And all I need to do is just click OK. And here is a beautiful scenario given to me. Okay, and it is formatted by Excel, right? And it is showing changing cells. Number of students are changing. You can see in the worst case it is 15, in the normal case it is 40, and in the best case it is 120. Then there are different expenses of maintenance, conveyance, stationery, phone, and electricity bill, which I had changed based on my anticipation. And the net result, okay, it is showing D23. Had I named this cell as quarterly profit, it would have appeared here as quarterly profit, right? These things are appearing here because I have named these particular cells by these, okay? Had I named this, I would have got here quarterly profit. Okay. Now, here you can see in the worst case scenario, I'm losing 79,000 rupees. That's a loss. In the normal case, I earn 64,000 rupees. And in the best case scenario, I earn 5,32,000 rupees. Right. Let me just go back to scenario manager. Right. And this is my quarterly profit. I'm going to name this cell. How do I name this cell? I will go over here and call it quarterly profit, and I just enter, right? Okay, there is some error in the name. So I will just call it Q2 quarterly profit, right? And I'll just press enter. So that's the name given to this cell. So let me be onto this cell, which is D23, which is the quarterly profit. Let us once again go to what if analysis and click on scenario manager. Now it is showing me same thing, worst case, normal case, best case. All these things have got saved. Let us create a summary once again. So I'll click on summary, right? And now scenario summary and result uh, cells is D23 because I have pre-selected that D23, and I'll just click OK. And here is the scenario created again. It comes on a fresh sheet. Please notice scenario summary 2. But notice the change what has happened here. Everything else is same. But since we named this cell, which is the result cell, instead of calling it D23, now it is calling quarterly profit, right? Isn't this a very useful feature? Let us try and see how it gives pivot table also. Let's go to scenario manager once again and go to what if analysis and scenario manager and summary, right? This time result cell is still same D23 because we selected it before, but now we will try to take a scenario pivot table report. So it is going to summarize and tell me how much will be my profit, right? Let us click OK. And here is a here is a beautifully created pivot table showing me best case scenario is so much, normal case is so much, and worst case is a lot. All right. So, isn't this good? Yes. If you find this useful, click the like. If you wish to catch several such videos, hit subscribe. For notifications, ring the bell and share this so that others too can watch. Bye.